Once again, what is up, everyone? I got a deck profile for you guys today. It's Cell Surge. I got first with it, and I'm just going to go over it really quick because most people have seen a million deck profiles of this. But I did pretty much just taking one card in the main deck, one in the sideboard that I wanted to go over that was just really good against certain blue-yellow matchups that are normally not the easiest deck to play against, but every time I stuck this card, I won. And just in the tournament and also just testing before the tournament, and it just seems really good to play in this deck right now. So Cell Surge, you look at your top 5, you choose a card to go in your hand, you discard a card. Awaken Surge is draw 2, restand 2. You can only use its abilities once you're at 4 or less life. One ability is until your next main phase, all your opponent's battle cards come to play in rest mode. The other ability is you can remove a card to force your opponent to discard a card. I mainly use the effect to force my opponent to discard a card, but I did use the other ability once. And a lot of things in the deck, you are actually just trying to stay on your front side as long as possible to keep filtering and seeing cards. Only during certain moments of the game are you actually trying to awaken, surge, and flip over. So awakening isn't really that important all the time. I mean, it still is important, but you're really, most times you're trying to hold it as long as possible. So we'll go over negates. We did just play one Shocking Death Ball in the main. Only had room for one, and I wanted a 1 cost or a free negate in case I was tapped out. 3, we play green Topo. It's a great card, works just like Topo, except for one key part. With Topo, you have to discard the card when you play the card. This one comes into play and then you discard a card. So this is a little more resilient against counterplay cards because you play the card, then they decide if they want to counterplay it or not, and so you're not negging a second card from hand like you are with Topo. But it makes it where if they want to keep on attacking, they have to pitch too. So this just shut down a lot of turns because you already had your opponent's hand low. Go into a Frieza package, 2 balls, 3 to 4 drop crit, 2 of these. I think that's all you need. It's a decent package. I actually won most of my games without even going all the way up to this, but this card is good. It can get you back an extra card, which you have a couple extra cards you can grab with it. And yeah, it's just really good. The way it works, you put the ball under the 4-drop Frieza. 4-drop Frieza, you end up free playing by KOing something, usually with your Broly Unison. And then you get to play this in active mode, and it has double strike. And then also has the ability to, you can, if it's removed from the battle area, your opponent discards a card. And you can get back extra cards with it. So, yeah. Second, we play 2 of the Gohan. I saw someone else doing this, so I wanted to try it out too, and it turned out to be okay. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. And there were times where you would just want to see more cards, so this could technically see a card in your life. It could help you self-awaken if you want to awaken your opponent stalling you, and it provides crit pressure. So I would say overall it was a really good addition. Next, of course, we were playing the 4 Broly Unison. It's just what makes the deck tick. Certain matchups, I was waiting till I had 5 energy to play it, just because I was afraid of Zamasu counterplay. But generally, I was able to stick this on 3. And a lot of times when you stick this, either you're sticking it on 3 and your life's at a healthy totals, or in your opponent's hand count's low, so it's just safe and you won't die. A lot of times, if I was waiting to the turn 5 to play so it didn't get counterplayed, I was also had my Awakened Surge lined up the same turn, so I was at restand energy to defend myself. But it's just really good. You get a +2, you pitch a card, your opponent pitches a card, so it goes into the hand control aspect of the game. You also get to KO one of your opponent's battle cards. +0 allows you to remove a marker from a Unison. I actually did use that once, and he's a big old double striker, so he's really good. And the second ability is Super Clutch, which we'll get to later, which is with, actually we just get to it now, with your Dragon Balls and your Deborahs, which we only played 3 of. You can discard the Deborah, activate main, to go search your deck or drop for a Dragon Ball. and you get to remove a marker from your unison. So essentially, you're getting this and replacing this card with the card in hand, or your opponent's just going down a card and you're removing markers. So it just keeps that hand control aspect going and just keeps the pressure on their hand. Now the tech card, the one of, which I do play one sideboard as well, is Majin Vegeta. So the most important thing with this card is you don't want to charge anything but your green energy, because if you do, I believe it's actually even mono green energy is what, yeah. And all your energy is mono green, yeah. So that's why this deck is mostly green. It plays a couple yellow cards, but you never want to charge any yellow cards. You never want to charge any of your multicolor energy, or else you can't play this. So this card, it was dealt with cards with barrier as a board wipe effect. That's why I was really good against blue-yellow, because you play it, you pitch a card, you get to take all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and blow them up. Also, it's just a 20k double strike critical, so it applies a lot of pressure, especially in a hand control deck where your opponent, to beat this, they just have to negate. If they out combo it, that's fine. That works for the hand control narrative. And if they don't, you're taking crit life, which is also good. I was also able at a lot of turns, especially against like blue-yellow, because I was worried about the Zamasu counterplay. I waited till turn 5, played this on turn 5, wiped their board, swung with a 20k double strike crit. Then I would just immediately go into -5 and rip 3 cards from hand. So really nasty. We play 2 Frieza counterplay, just because as you see our unisons are 3 or 4 drops. So you don't need to necessarily see these early. So just 2, because a lot of times you can line it up to see it when you see your unisons and play them. Of course, Paragus super combo, 4 of. Really good super combo. You just need to see cards in this deck, so it's better than the other super combos, because Cell just basically filters cards and not draws them, but you do have other ways to draw cards. We play 3 Cell's Earth Destroying Kamehameha. Amazing card. Love it. It's very good defensively, because it just can rip a card from your opponent's hand. It's also just good with lining up with some of your crit attackers. It's just an all-around good card. It's 1 energy, plus 15k to leader a battle card, and you get to rip a card at random from your opponent's hand. So the random factor is insane sometimes. Of course, we're playing Cell Surge, so you have to play this. We play 4 of these. One game I actually did do the free play. The activate main, where you play it from your drop. Is it you play it from your drop? I believe so. You have to have 4 or more energy. Yeah, that's the requirements. And 1 with that, but mainly what you're doing is you're using your Cell ability, putting a card in hand, putting this as your discard, and then you send this from your discard to your warp to draw a card first, and then you get to decide if you take a life. So you do it in that order. So you can draw your card and not do the second ability. You don't have to add up to the 1 life if you don't want to. But it can essentially just +2. Against slower matchups, I was doing both. Against aggressive matchups, I just draw the card, because they're going to make me take my life anyways. We also play 3 2-drop draw apes. Just a good thing to do with your energy. It's also a good way to keep your hand count high when you need to. On top of that, we play 3 of the 1-drop draw apes. A lot of times, if I didn't hit this, at least I would hit this. So it gave me something to do on turn 1 with my energy, just to draw a card, basically. And altogether, that's all your yellow targets for your Awakened Surge. So you play this, the 3 apes, and 4 of these. So 10 yellow cards, so you can hit your Awakened Surge. So it's just something to pay attention to when you're trying to. It's that 10 is plenty, just because the leader's effect of searching top 5, put any card in hand. It allows you to filter like crazy. Some more discard cards. We do play 3 Rebrands. I thought 3 was fine. You can play 4 if you want. But I went for 3 and 3. I just like both these cards. Both these cards are very good. So this one's Deflect and Triple Strike. Makes your opponent drop 2 cards for 3 energy. And this one is even harder to interact with. I mean, it doesn't have Deflect or anything, but you're never like playing the cards just in your drop, and you're paying 2 energy to make them discard 2 cards. So both these cards make your opponent discard cards and are not easy to interact with. So both very good. And you can like switch them up, play different variations how you want. They're all very good. Funny thing is, I'm going to show you 2 ones of. I played one of these, and I played one of these. The reason why I played one of these is because I couldn't find another one of these. So if you should play 2 of these. They both essentially do the same thing. Over L3, you make your opponent discard a card. This gives your leader plus 5k. Your green leader, so it's better. But I couldn't find one, so just 1 of 1. Last but not least, Figure Supreme Kai. Just overall crazy, really good nutty card. Love it. Another one of is our double strike effect. Throw it on one of your crits or just basically any attacker, because a lot of times you're keeping your opponent's hand count super low. So as soon as you swing and they don't negate, a lot of times you're able just to throw this in with some other combo power and close out the game. I will go over the sideboard real quick, even though it's pretty basic actually. So I did tech in the second one of these into my sideboard against certain matchups. This card is just backbreaking. I just love this card in Cell Surge. I don't see a lot of lists playing it, but I can tell you against Blue Yellow Icarus, this card, once this card sticks, you should win. I haven't lost against Blue Yellow Icarus once I've played this card. Not at all. Not one game. 4th copy of this. 3rd copy of this. 3 Demigra against aggro matchups. And then you can bring in this with those, because then it's more important to see these early. 2 Deborah. We played our 2nd Shocking Death Ball. Just more negates. We did play 2 Artificial Impact. It's another way to deal with barrier cards. At the worst, it's energy or combo power, because you still combo power it for 5k. Out of necessity, you play 3 Dark Powered Black Mass Saiyan just because your opponent brings in Deborah. It's also really good against Blue Yellow Icarus as well. So I basically brought this card in every single game, just in case my opponent brought in Deborah. I only actually saw my opponent play Deborah against me once. And unfortunately, I did not even have this at this point, but I was able to fight through it anyways. So you can't fight through Deborahs. You just don't. It starts to get hard if you have to fight through multiple Deborahs without seeing this, but it was just one, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Last but not least is our Prince of Destruction Vegeta. It's a 4-drop. It has Deflect, so it's hard to interact. It has Triple Strike, and it has Servant. So on your first swing with it, it gets an additional, I can't remember, 10k. Yeah, 10k. So it makes a 30k Triple Striker. And the main reason for this is also it's just really good at dealing with opponent's unisons. Especially like the 4-drop Majin Buu Blue Unison. Because it's Deflect, they have a hard way to interact with this. So a lot of times you could go into your Broly play, plus up KO a card, whatever. Make your opponent discard a card. And then on your following turn, you can play this, remove 3 markers from it. And then you can also use the Broly plus here to remove the other marker and just get rid of it. Just a one of. I liked it in the sideboard, but that's pretty much it. So this is my first place deck profile. We'll try to get some more deck profiles that aren't as that people haven't seen a million of, but that's all I got for you guys today. Once again, thanks for watching. Goodbye.